He said, I want you to primarily give the gospel. Now go to verse 7a. He says, I want you, after you're giving the gospel and seeing the prison houses of sin opening and people coming to have a new heart and a new spirit and coming to Christ, I want you then you can work on digging the good water well. After you introduce the reason you're there is to see people liberated from the power of darkness and set free and turn to the light. Feed the needy and the hungry around us by showing them Christ's love and compassion. Look at verse 7. Something really interesting is in there. It's really annoying that it's in there. Look at verse 7. Is it not to share world vision's bread? Or loaves and fishes bread, or Samaritan and purses bread, or Kalamazoo Gospel Missions bread with the hungry. Isn't that what it says? There's a 4-letter word there. What does it say? Say it louder. Your. Do you know what? There's a personal element here. I take my own supply for today's meal and share that with those who have nothing. That's what this is about. This is not drumming up more social institutions. Do you know what's really powerful? I had a friend, he's a really good salesman. He used to be a businessman downtown. And he began this ministry where he would have his wife pack him a second lunch, and depending on the season, he loved doing this most of all when it got to be cold or rainy. He would have the lunch, and then he would have either gloves or socks, different things. And he would go out and look for the people that are always hanging around, the warm places when it's cold because they've been tossed out of the mission because they can't be there 24/7 or wherever they're staying, and they're just kind of wandering looking for a warm place. And he says, hey, my wife made an extra meal, and here's a nice set of socks for you because, you could see, have you ever looked down and seen some of the footwear you can really tell whether someone's in need by looking at their shoes. You all know that, right? I mean, if they're coming up, say they need $1 and they've got $100, shoes on, they probably don't. But if they are barefooted in the cold inside of worn out shoes, they're probably really needy. And you know what he did? He shared food, gloves, and the gospel in a package. Notice it says your. It's actually causing hurt to myself. In fact, I told you this before. This is what I read to you last time. This is what the Aristides, the pagan philosopher, wrote to the emperor Hadrian. He said, if these Christians see poor and needy people and they don't have enough to feed them, they will fast for 2 or 3 days to supply that person their need. That's compassion.